Hello again, I'm Corey Amsler, and welcome to another segment of 100 Years, 100 Objects, a Mercer Centennial Moment. I'd like to show you something. It's a shoe, a very large shoe. I know what you're thinking, maybe. No way. No way could anyone have really worn a piece of footwear this big, and by the way, where's the other one? Well, to answer those questions, I need to tell you the story of this fellow, Benjamin Jones, a towering African-American man who escaped slavery in Maryland and ran away and came to Bucks County, Pennsylvania in the era before the Civil War. Born about 1805, 1806, maybe as late as 1812, Jones was the property of a family by the name of Anderson in Baltimore County, Maryland. Fearing he was about to be sold to a plantation in the Deep South, Jones decided to self-emancipate. And under the cover of darkness, one night in 1833, he, along with a few others, made their escape. Eventually, they came to the Susquehanna River, where they needed to cross by ferry. Jones managed to convince the ferry operator that they were just a group of corn huskers who were going to a nearby farm to assist at husking time. They made their way across the Mason-Dixon line, and Jones eventually came to Bucks County, where he settled on Buckingham Mountain in a small community of other African Americans who were sort of clustered around an African Methodist Episcopal church there. Jones recalled later in life that he and his friends made their escape on the night the stars fell, a night of a dramatic meteor shower in November of 1833, which sort of pinpoints when he did actually make his escape to Pennsylvania and freedom. Jones found work among some of the Quaker farmers in Buckingham Township and lived there for 11 years until in 1844 his former master apparently discovered his whereabouts, sent a group of slave catchers to capture him, return him to slavery and servitude in Maryland. Jones had other ideas, however, and when the party of slave catchers fell on him and tried to capture him, he was actually chopping wood at the time. He fought them off, engaged in a heroic battle to preserve his freedom, but was eventually subdued, severely injured, and essentially kidnapped and taken back to Maryland. Now, to Mr. Anderson's, Jones's master, to his dismay, Jones was so severely injured that it really compromised the man's value on the slave auction block. As a result, some of Jones's friends, the folks he had worked for in Buckingham Township, took up a subscription, raised enough money, and were able to purchase Jones's freedom. And Jones returned to Bucks County in the fall of 1844, living out the rest of his life here, including his later years when he lived at the Bucks County Almshouse, dying in 1870. Now, did I mention that Jones was a very large man? Well, a very large man does require a very large shoe. And in modern terms, this shoe is about a size 22 or 23. Essentially, the size shoe that basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal wears, just to give you a sense of scale. We don't know why there's only one. Perhaps there was a pair originally, but only one was ultimately given to the museum's collection. It's possible, too, Jones suffered from ulcers on his leg and foot later on in his life, and perhaps it was uncomfortable for him to wear more than one shoe, so perhaps he only had one. The local story, of course, was that Jones, being a poor man, was only able to afford enough leather to make one shoe at a time. That's the story, anyway. Well, thank you for tuning in and watching another Mercer Centennial Moment with me, Corey Amsler, and Benjamin Jones. We'll see you next time.